What's up YouTube, it's TCG here, and thanks again for watching our TCG video on my channel. Today we're gonna check out another deck. It's going to be Buzzwole Lycanroc. That's right, Buzzwole Lycanroc did very well at the Memphis Regionals. Actually, half of the top 8 players had a Buzzwole Lycanroc variant. So today we're gonna have a deck profile on, I think, one of the lists of the top 4. So that's going to be fantastic. This is a very solid list. Does very well against Zoroark variants, of course. Buzzwole is around, and you would think like the baby Buzzwole took over. Well, that's where you're wrong, because Buzzwole-GX is also in here, and the support Pokemon of choice is going to be Magcargo. So let's go dive straight into this list. I'm gonna talk about all the cards in detail, and you'll have an understanding of how the deck functions. So to just start off, we're gonna run 2 copies of the Buzzwole-GX. Buzzwole-GX from Crimson Invasion is one of the best GXs in the format. I know it's weak to Psychic and Malamar is around, but if you're not facing Malamar, you'll have an awesome time. We have Jet Punch. Being able to dish out 30 to the active and 30 to one of the bench is very powerful in the early game. Think about a Beast Energy. That way you deal 60 damage for the first time energy. Just get that Beast Energy on the first turn. Bang, you deal 60 damage, knocking out weak Pokemon like Ralts, Zoroark, and even other Pokemon. You can dish out even 80 damage on the first turn if you can have access to your Diancie Prism Star, and that means you just spread out a little bit of damage with Jet Punch, and Knuckle Impact is your late game finishing attack. Not only that, you have access to Absorption GX, dealing 40 damage for every prize card you have left remaining. So that could be also one of the options, but you don't come across that second attack, actually that GX move, very often. You usually just use Jet Punch and then B-String onto Buzzwole-GX in order to use Knuckle Impact. And Knuckle Impact with Choice Band, Diancie Prism Star, Beast Energy can actually one-shot about everything in the format, so that's awesome. We're also gonna run 2 Baby Buzzwole, because Baby Buzzwole is busted. You can just use Sledgehammer, abuse that, the same damage output like Buzzwole-GX, but without the damage on the bench. But with Baby Buzzwole, you have access to Sledgehammer. If the opponent has exactly 4 prize cards remaining, you can dish out 120, and with Choice Band, that's 150. With Diancie Prism Star, that's 170. With Beast Energy, that's 100, actually 200. So Baby Buzzwole can do all sorts of things, and not only that, you hit for weakness against popular Pokemon. You can just hit weakness against Zoroark. You also destroy opposing Orangurus. You destroy Weavile, so it's actually very good to be fighting type right now. Our secondary attacker besides the Buzzwoles is going to be Lycanroc. Lycanroc is very nice, definitely because it comes packed with the Bloodthirsty Eyes ability. This ability makes sure you can target something on the opponent's bench and drag it to the active position without having to rely on Guzma. Very efficient ability, because you just spread around some damage with Buzzwole, and with, of course, Bloodthirsty Eyes, you can just pick off weak opponents and knock them out again. So very solid. Not only that, it comes packed with the most amazing GX move ever. It deals 50 damage times the amount of bench Pokemon the opponent has. And in a format right now that everybody's relying on bench space, this is going to just get a one-hit KO regardless, unless the opponent will only bench 2 Pokemon, but then they are not getting out the stuff they want, which is also good. So Claw Slash also deals a flat 110 damage for a DCE and a fighting energy. And of course with Diancie Prism Star, that's 130, and 130 seems to be the solid number to get rid of things like Delmice, Baby Buzzwoles, and all 1-prize attackers, so that's going to be fantastic. Even Deoxys if you come across those. Not only are we gonna run the GX, we're also gonna run the 1-prize attacking Lycanroc with Dangerous Rogue. It's not Dangerous Rogue GX. It deals 20 damage. Let me just put this on the camera. You haven't seen this often. It deals 20 damage plus 20 more for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So if the opponent has a full bench, this Lycanroc can also start one-shotting Pokemon as a 1-prize attacker. So that could also be an option. It's also very good against things like Hoopa, because Hoopa can be kind of annoying. You don't come across Hoopas very often, but that is also a way to get rid of those. Next up, we're gonna run 3 copies of the Rockruffs together with the Lycanrocs, because otherwise we cannot evolve into our Lycanroc. So I do recommend 70 HP ones, because with 70 HP you can survive a Jet Punch even if they have a Beast Energy on the first turn. So 70 HP is the way to go. Don't worry about attacking with Rockruff. If you're doing that, there's something horribly wrong. Next up, our support Pokemon of choice is going to be Magcargo. Magcargo and a couple of Slugma. So as you see, Magcargo has an ability, and that ability is of course Smooth Over. Once during your turn, you may put 1 card from your deck on the top of your deck. So you can search your deck, put anything you want on top, and then you can draw it out with things like Lily. There's 4 Lily in this deck. You can draw it out with Oranguru, which I'm gonna talk about later. You can draw it out with a lot of cards, so that is going to be fantastic. Okay. We're gonna run one copy of the Diancie Prism Star in this list. Why not abuse the power of Diancie Prism Star? Because with that, all of your fighting types deal an additional 20 damage. So can you imagine it? Knuckle Impact already dealing 180 for 3 energies. With B-String, easy, yeah, you can just easy set them up and just one-shot about everything in the format. Then our other card here is Oranguru, which I talked about briefly before. It has the instructability, once during your turn you may draw cards until you have 3 in the hand. Now with cards like Ultra Ball, you can thin out your hand, and even if you have like 2 cards in the hand and Magcargo out, you can get anything you want, because with the Smooth Over ability, you put something on top, and with the Instruct, you can draw it out immediately. So that's why I'm loving the Oranguru in here. Way before, like the rotation, we had Octillery, but this is also a sweet combo. Smooth Over actually gives you everything you might wish for. Like the Beast Energy, actually, Beast Energy is just easy searchable thanks to Smooth Over. Things like B-Strings is fantastic. Okay, moving forward on the list, we're also gonna run a Marshadow. Now you think, why Marshadow? Well, as mentioned before, Marshadow wins you games. You can just steal games. First turn Marshadow is just so disruptive, and if you have an energy onto your Buzzwole-GX, you can easily get some prize card. Let's say the opponent has 2 Zoroarks out. Very nice, right? Well, early game Marshadow, bang, and suddenly they don't have anything to draw, and you can just use an energy onto the Jet Punch, actually energy onto the Buzzwole-GX to use Jet Punch, get rid of a Buzzwole, actually get rid of a Zoroark, while also dishing out 30 to the bench. It's very, very great. So one copy of Marshadow, stealing games is amazing. Works also in the late game. Then one copy of Tapu Lele. What deck would it be without Tapu Lele-GX? Sometimes we dead draw, and if we have access to Ultra Ball, we can just get our Tapu Lele, and with Tapu Lele we're good, because sometimes we definitely want to draw into our B-Strings, and if we don't have Magcargo or Oranguru, sometimes we use Ultra Ball Lele for Cynthia. That's what it does. Also late game, you can just use it to go after your Guzma and just win the game right there. Okay. Now for the supporters, we're gonna run 4 copies of Cynthia. I actually got a hold of my last Cynthia that I needed for my full art. You know I love playing with full arts. So 4 copies of the Cynthia. I love, I'm just gonna put them a little bit lower so you can just have a line between Pokemon and supporters. So now we're here at the supporter categories. Cynthia is the best draw supporter in the format right now. We don't have Sycamore, we don't have Ant, so Cynthia is great. Shuffle your hand into your deck, drawing 6 cards. Then we're also gonna finish that with 4 copies of the Lily. Lily is also something interesting. It lets you draw cards until you have 6 in the hand, but on the first turn you can draw cards until you have 8 in the hand. Why is there 4 copies of Lilies in here? Because with the Smooth Over you can draw the card you want. Let's say, oh, I want a Choice Band. Well, Smooth Over Lily and you draw out that Choice Band. That's how it works. Then to dish out even more damage, we're gonna be running 2 copies of Professor Kukui. The Professor Kukui is in here just for the early games. Let's say you have Diancie on the bench with Brooklyn Hill, easy searchable, and you have an energy onto your Buzzwole. Well, with a simple Kukui, you can hit for 70 damage, and 70 damage is in the range of things like Trubbish, things like Grubbin, so you can actually do a lot of things with Kukui. Next up is going to be 3 copies of Guzma. Guzma just targets everything you possibly want. We do have an awkward retreat cost of Magcargo, so with Guzma you can just get out of that awkward situation, but you can also target the opponent's bench Pokemon and just knock them out, or actually try to knock them out. So that's why there's 3 copies of Guzma in here. And we want to run 4, but in this deck it's not even necessary because Bloodthirsty eyes can also make sure you can target the Pokemon of your choice. Then 4 copies of Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball is just awesome. It searches out everything in your deck. Most of the times you use Brooklyn Hill, get out some Pokemon. Ultra Ball will be for Slugma or maybe your Marshadow early game or Oranguru or Lele. So 4 copies of Ultra Ball is great. We're gonna follow that up with 2 copies of Nazball. With Nazball, it's going to be great to get out Slugma because it's one of the only cards. Actually, there's 3 cards you cannot get out with Brooklyn Hill. It's going to be actually 4 cards. We have the Slugma, we have the Marshadow, we have Oranguru and the Tapu Lele-GX. But Tapu Lele and Marshadow need to come from the hand, so only 2 Pokemon are relevant with Nazball. It's going to be Slugma or Oranguru, or if you don't have Brooklyn Hill, you can search out Diancie Prism Store or anything you possibly want. Then to dish out more damage, because more damage is good, we already have our Diancie Prism Star, we have Kukui, but now we also have 3 copies of Choice Band, which seems to be in every deck. With Choice Band, you just hit the numbers perfectly. Think about a Dangerous Rogue. I just need 30 more damage to knock one-shot a Lele because they only have 3 bench Pokemon. Well, no problem, Choice Band is here. You have Choice Band, you have Diancie, you have Kukui. There's a lot of options available to dish out more damage. Then, of course, we're gonna have our B-Strings because it's very awkward to just set up your Buzzwole-GX otherwise, or Baby Buzzwole. You can use your B-String, and with B-String, you can just search your deck for 2 basic energies and attach them to your Buzzwole-GX or any Ultra Beast of that matter, but we only have Buzzwole in our deck. But the bad thing is that the opponent has to have 3 or 4 prize cards remaining in order for us to even rely on that card. But yeah, It's just easy searchable. We can have Magcargo and play. If Buzzwole-GX sees the discard, well, that opens the door for B-String and we're good. So that's why there's 3 copies of that in here. And then for our recovery card, I think Rescue Stretcher is the way to go here. Super Rod is rotated out. You also have energy, maintenance, recycle system, whatever. You don't want to use that. You already have plenty of energies. As you're going to see in this deck, there's a lot of energies in here. So more on that later. Next card is Switch. A manual switch could also work out. Let's say Magcargo is stuck and you don't want to rely on Guzma. Well, you can just use Smooth Over, put that switch on the top of the deck, and you can draw it out with Lily, Kukui, or Instruct, or whatever draw card you have. Finishing off the list of the trainer cards, we're gonna have the stadium card of choice. There's going to be 3 copies of the Brooklyn Hill. Brooklyn Hill is awesome early game because that will be your ticket to your Diancie Prism store if it's not priced, but also can get out Rockruff early game. If you get 1 energy onto a Rockruff, the opponent will be very wary of their bench space and might not even bench a lot of Pokemon, which is then good in our advantage. Or you can just get it out of nowhere, an energy to the Rockruff, and next turn you just use Dangerous Rope with a Lycanroc, target everything you possibly dream of. Then, for the energies, we are gonna rely on 10 basic fighting energies. I know that might seem like a lot, but with B-String, you definitely want to hit those B-Strings, so I'm just gonna put them over here. So that's going to be 5 basic fighting energies, and then followed up with another 5 basic fighting energies to have a total number of 10. I don't know if they are all fit in the camera, so let's put them a little bit closer. So they're definitely on the screen. I think 10 is a great number. You always have that first turn energy, and that first turn energy secures a first turn Jet Punch or Sledgehammer, and that's very great. So I think they're all on the screen right now. Yeah, perfectly. So the only 2 cards left I want to talk about are the other energies. There's 1 double Chaos energy and 1 beast energy. The beast energy is for, of course, the Ultra Beast, dishing out an extra 30 damage, but could also work if you don't have any other way to have like a second attachment onto Lycanroc. This also provides a colorless energy. So that extra 30 damage is awesome. Of course, Jet Punch for 60 or with the Diancie 80 is very fantastic. If you have this early game, you're gonna be a very, very happy player because you can dish out a lot of damage right away. So let's just put those Brooklyn Hills a little bit closer so we have a room for the last energies of the deck list. So here we gonna have the Brooklyn Hills, the Ultra Balls, the Naz Balls, and the last cards on the list is 1 Beast Energy and 1 double Chaos Energy. I think everything fits on the screen right now. Perfect. Okay, this is the deck list that got actually in the top 4, of course, of the Memphis Regionals. There were 4 Buzzwole Lycanroc lists like this in the top 8 at the Memphis Regionals. Also did really well at the Offenbach Regionals in Europe. So this list is legit. If you're facing Zoroark, you're gonna have an awesome time. If you're facing Psychic, Lycanroc is your main attacker of choice. That is my suggestion here. Or you can also rely on 1 prize attacker like Lycanroc. Also works out fine. Maybe Marshadow early game to just hopefully they brick could also work out, and this list is definitely gonna work out for you. Definitely check it out for yourself. Let me know what you think about Buzzwole Lycanroc. I know Alolan Ninetales GX is coming out soon. That way we can scratch like Magcargo, put in 2 Alolan Vulpix and then Alolan Ninetales GX, because I don't know if you noticed, but that new Alolan Ninetales GX can just search out items immediately, so amazing. Anyhow, enough about the future. This is the main list you want to try out. Maybe you're having a regional soon, a league cup, a league challenge. Let me know what you have. Try this list out and let me know how you do with it. Anyhow, this was Zapdos TCG. Hopefully you had an awesome time watching another one of my deck profile videos. If you did, be sure to demolish the like button because you know I always appreciate that. And of course, subscribe for more content like this. Leave something in the comment section below as a little suggestion so I know what to make next. And have a fantastic rest of your day, guys. See you guys later. Peace out.